Welcome back, car enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a topic that's sure to spark some debate. The 10 most overrated cars in America. We're going to be brutally honest and call it like we see it, folks. Get ready for some surprises because you won't believe which car clinched that #1 spot. From hyped-up performance to questionable reliability, we're taking a closer look at the cars that don't quite live up to the hype. Buckle up, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Alright, let's kick things off with an American icon, the Ford Mustang. Now, don't get me wrong, the Mustang has a legendary history and a certain cool factor that's hard to deny. But let's be real, folks, the Mustang's reputation often precedes it. I've driven my fair share of Mustangs, and while some are genuinely great cars, others, not so much. One thing that consistently stands out is the disparity between the Mustang's sporty image and its actual performance. Sure, you can get a Mustang with a powerful engine, but the driving dynamics don't always live up to the hype. And don't even get me started on the interior quality of some of these Mustangs. We're talking cheap plastics, questionable ergonomics. It's not exactly what you'd expect from a car with such a legendary badge. And then, there's the reliability. Look, I'm not saying every Mustang is going to leave you stranded on the side of the road, but let's just say that reliability hasn't always been a strong suit for this pony car. From electrical gremlins to transmission issues, there are more than a few Mustang horror stories out there. So while the Mustang might have the looks and the legacy, it's worth taking a closer look at the details before you fall for its charms, because in my experience, the Mustang is a car that often promises more than it can deliver. Next up, we're talking about the Tesla Model 3, a car that's been generating a ton of buzz in the automotive world. Tesla has definitely shaken things up with its electric vehicles, and the Model 3 is their most affordable offering yet. But is it really all it's cracked up to be? Now, I'm all for electric cars, and the Model 3 has a lot going for it. Sleek design, impressive range, and that instant torque that EVs are known for. But dig a little deeper and you'll find that the Model 3 isn't perfect. One of the biggest issues is build quality. Panel gaps, paint imperfections, and interior rattles. These are complaints I've heard time and time again from Model 3 owners. And then there's the whole Tesla service experience which, let's just say, has a bit of a reputation. Getting your Model 3 serviced can be a real hassle, and don't even get me started on the wait times. Plus, let's not forget that the Model 3 isn't exactly what you'd call affordable. Sure, it's cheaper than a Model S, but it's still a pricey car, especially when you factor in things like autopilot, which is basically an expensive extra. So while the Tesla Model 3 is an impressive piece of technology, it's not the game changer that some people make it out to be. Alright, let's talk about the Jeep Wrangler, a vehicle that's synonymous with off-road adventure. The Wrangler has a rugged appeal that's undeniable, and its off-road capabilities are legendary. But most Wrangler owners don't spend weekends tackling the Rubicon Trail. They're driving to the grocery store, picking up kids from soccer practice. The ride is rough, the steering is vague, and the interior is noisy. Up next, we've got the Chevrolet Camaro, a car that's all about aggressive styling and muscle car attitude. The Camaro definitely looks the part with its sharp lines and muscular stance. But when it comes to actually driving the thing, it can be a bit of a letdown. Visibility is a major issue thanks to those small windows and that high rear deck. And then there's the interior, which is cramped and not particularly well made. Don't even think about trying to fit adults in the back seats. It's not gonna happen. Look, the Camaro can be fun to drive in short bursts, but as a daily driver, it leaves a lot to be desired. It's loud, it's uncomfortable, and it's not particularly practical. Let's talk about the Dodge Charger, a car that's been around for what seems like forever. The Charger has a certain retro charm, and you can get it with some seriously powerful engine options. But underneath that old-school exterior lies a car that's feeling its age. The interior is starting to look dated, the technology is lagging behind the competition, and the fuel economy is abysmal. Plus, the Charger is a big car, which can make it a handful to maneuver in tight spaces. Look, I appreciate the Charger's throwback style and its muscle car roots, but it's time for Dodge to give this car a much-needed update. The BMW 3 Series has long been considered the gold standard of sports sedans, but over the years the 3 Series has grown in size and price, and some argue that it's lost its edge. While the 3 Series still offers impressive handling and performance, it's not the driver-focused machine it once was. Plus, the ride can be a bit too stiff for some, and the interior, while luxurious, isn't as spacious as some of its competitors. And then there's the cost of ownership. BMWs are notorious for their high maintenance costs, and the 3 Series is no exception. The Honda Civic is one of the best-selling cars of all time, and for good reason. It's reliable, it's fuel-efficient, and it's relatively affordable. But the Civic is also a bit of a wallflower. It's not particularly exciting to look at or to drive. It's the kind of car that blends into the background. Look, the Civic is a perfectly fine car, but it's not going to set your heart racing. Chapter 8. Toyota Prius, the Eco-Warrior's Dilemma. The Toyota Prius is a car that needs no introduction. It's been synonymous with fuel efficiency for over 2 decades. But the Prius has always been more about function over form. It's not a particularly stylish or exciting car to drive. The interior is functional but uninspired, and the driving experience is best described as adequate. Chapter 9. Nissan Altima, the definition of underwhelming. The Nissan Altima is a car that often gets overlooked in the mid-size sedan segment, and there's a reason for that. It's not a bad car, but it's not a particularly good one either. It's just kind of there. The Altima doesn't excel in any particular area. It's not the most stylish, the most fuel-efficient, or the most fun to drive. Chapter 10. Mercedes-Benz C-Class, luxury at a cost. And finally, we come to the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, a car that's synonymous with luxury and prestige. The C-Class is a beautiful car both inside and out, but that luxury comes at a price. And I'm not just talking about the sticker price. Mercedes-Benz are notoriously expensive to maintain, and the C-Class is no exception. From routine maintenance to unexpected repairs, be prepared to shell out some serious cash if you own a C-Class. There you have it, folks. My take on the 10 most overrated cars in America. Remember, this is just my opinion, and I'm sure many of you will have different views. Do you agree with my list? Did I miss any cars that you think are totally overrated? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep the discussion going. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more car reviews and insights. Thanks for watching.